At what point does playing gritty, scrappy basketball cross the line? For one thing, there is certainly a difference between a dirty player and a villain, and it's an important distinction. In this video, I will be giving you my list of the top 10 dirtiest players in NBA history. Hello there and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for taking your time to click on this video. It is highly appreciated. But hold up, before you get further into this, if you're new here, subscribe with notifications so you do not miss a single upload. Without further ado, let's get right into this. Dropping in at the number 10 spot is Laimbeer. Laimbeer is a member of the Bad Boys who most certainly deserves a place on this list. He was physical, he took cheap shots, and he wasn't afraid to flop on the play. His aggressive style of play did not sit well with other members of the league, but that never bothered him. The truth was, he thrived off of it. Dropping in at number 9 is Bowen. As one of the game's greatest defenders, he did whatever it took to keep his opponents from scoring. He grabbed jerseys and pushed individuals from behind, and he did all this in an ultra discreet manner. Yet what made him super dirty was the fact that he stuck his foot under shooters when they were in the middle of the air to jump, which led to lots of ankle injuries. Not cool, man. Not cool. At the number 8 spot is Reggie Evans. Reggie Evans was an excellent rebounder. The numbers back this up. However, his NBA career is not defined by this fact. His NBA career is defined by the fact that he was an ultra-physical player, was never afraid to mix it up, and on at least one occasion took things a bit too far. Just ask Chris Common, who had the misfortune of being on the receiving end of one of Evans' more handsy moments. Dropping in at number 7 is Dennis Rodman. We all knew Dennis Rodman would make this list. Sure, he may have been one of the greatest rebounders the game has ever seen, but that doesn't mean he got the job done cleanly. Rodman wasn't afraid of contact and he attacked the glass with reckless abandonment. He pushed opponents, got extra physical when necessary, and allowed nothing more than getting in someone's head through taunting. In short, he was Dennis the Menace. At number 6 is Metta World Peace. Metta World Peace, or as his friends like to call him, Rod, never backed down from confrontation. We saw him go into the stands during the Malice at the Palace, and we witnessed him accidentally, quote-unquote, hit James Harden in the head with an elbow. We also saw him get the job done by bodying opponents and rattling him through use of psychological warfare. To some, World Peace, ironically, was nothing more than a goon. However, we'd like to think he was more self-aware than that. Was he afraid to play dirty? Nope. Did he know his style of play bothered opponents? Yup. Did he care? What do you think? At number 5 is Kurt Thomas. Kurt Thomas wasn't on the court to get buckets. He was on the floor to make his presence known, get physical with the opposition, and pick up fouls. He averaged 3.2 per game for his career if need be. These are just some of the reasons why former 10th overall pick remained in the league until he was 40. It certainly wasn't because of his talent. Also, one of his nicknames happened to be Dirty Kurt, so there's another strike against him. At number 4 is Rick Mahorn. People dubbed the Detroit Pistons of the late 80s and early 90s as the Bad Boys. If you're curious to know which member of this group was considered the baddest of the bunch, then look no further than power forward/center Rick Mahorn. What Mahorn lacked in scoring ability, only averaging 6.9 points per game for his career, he made up with physicality. Mahorn was a beast who would not be denied. He wasn't as athletic as most of his opponents, he certainly couldn't jump as high, however he would fight for that ball and do whatever it took to get it. That's how he played. That's what people expected, and that is why he is on this list. At number 3 is John Stockton. People know Stockton as the guy with the most assists in the history of the game, but only those who paid close attention saw him for what he truly was, a scrappy player. Stockton would fight for every inch. He'd set illegal screens and he'd never hesitate to give you a shot to the torso. But he was rarely caught doing anything wrong. That's what makes Stockton such a tough player. He was super smart on the basketball court. However, it doesn't mean he wasn't afraid to get dirty like everyone else. At number 2 is Karl Malone. Another intimidating force on the basketball court is Karl Malone. The 6'9", 250-pound power forward for the Utah Jazz was built like an absolute freight train. The mailman may be a Hall of Famer in second place on the all-time NBA scoring list, which is 36,928 points, by the way. However, he did much more than deliver buckets. Malone delivered elbows. He crushed Detroit Piston Isaiah Thomas, which was one of the more vicious blows in NBA history. To this day, Thomas definitely still remembers. And at the number 1 spot is Charles Oakley. When you played against Charles Oakley, you knew what you were getting yourself into, a physical war. In his 19 seasons in the NBA, it didn't matter whether the power forward / center was suiting up for the New York Knicks, Toronto Raptors, Washington Wizards, Chicago Bulls, or Houston Rockets. Oakley would make sure his presence was felt. If you were soft on the court, the oak tree would destroy you. He wasn't afraid of the forceful foul, and he wasn't afraid to fight. You can ask Sir Charles about that. That is it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. Be sure to slap a like on this video. It helps out more than you can imagine. Be sure to share and leave a comment below letting me know what type of NBA videos you'd like to see. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe with bell notifications so you do not miss a single upload. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.